governance and political systems, indigenous democratic traditions, and the Iroquois confederacies. Legacy opening hook. Rethinking democracies. Roots. Modern democracy is often traced back to ancient Greece. Yet the origins of democratic principles and federal governance run deeper and more widely than commonly acknowledged. Long before European settlers arrived in North America, indigenous peoples, notably the Iroquois Confederacy, had developed sophisticated political systems based on consensus, representation, and shared power. Their governance models emphasized the voices of communities, balanced autonomy with collective unity, and empowered women as political decision-makers, radical concepts that later influenced foundational ideas underpinning the United States Constitution. Exploring these indigenous political traditions, challenges mainstream narratives, and reveals a rich heritage of democratic innovation. The Iroquois Confederacy. Foundation of federated governance. Origins and formation. The Iroquois Confederacy, or Haudenosaunee people of the Longhouse, was established between the 14th and 16th centuries in the northeastern woodlands of what is now the United States and Canada. Initially composed of 5 nations, the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, and Seneca tribes, it became the 6 nations after the Tuscarora tribe joined in the 18th century. According to tradition, spiritual leaders Decanawada, the great peacemaker, and Hiawatha played pivotal roles in uniting warring tribes through the Great Law of Peace, which established a representative and participatory government emphasizing conflict resolution, shared sovereignty, and collective welfare. Structure of the Confederacy Council. The Iroquois Grand Council comprised 50 chief sachems representing the member nations' clans, organized not by population size but by clan importance. The Onondaga Nation, as the keepers of the fire, hosted council meetings, which were conducted with great ceremony to encourage careful deliberation. Decisions were made by consensus, meaning all representatives had to agree before implementing policies. Unlike many European monarchies, the Confederacy had no king or singular ruler. Power was diffuse and balanced. Women's central role in governance. One striking feature was the substantial political power held by women, especially clan mothers, who selected and could depose chiefs. This matrilineal system marked profound respect for women's leadership and ensured accountability within governance. Women's control over leadership positions fostered community balance and prevented tyranny. Contrasting sharply with patriarchal systems elsewhere, federalism and autonomy, the Confederacy maintained a delicate balance between tribal autonomy and federal unity. Each nation governed its internal affairs independently but collaborated for mutual defense. Diplomatic negotiations and interethnic dispute resolution. Such a system modeled the federal principle later echoed in the United States, a union of semi-sovereign states, bound by a higher authority representing common interests. Democratic traditions across native tribes, consensus building in governance. The Iroquois were not unique in valuing consensus. Many indigenous societies favored decision-making mechanisms based on dialogue and collective agreement rather than majority rule, which encouraged cooperation and minimized factionalism. Importance of elders and oral tradition. Oral histories and elders' wisdom were central to governance, preserving laws and customs across generations. Respect for age and experience contributed to political stability and cultural continuity. Women's roles beyond the Iroquois. Across many indigenous nations, women held influential roles in political, economic, and family decisions. Matrilineal kinship shaped leadership, succession, and social organization, fostering systems markedly different from European patriarchy. European influences and Iroquois impact on the United States. The Albany Congress and Iroquois diplomacy. Benjamin Franklin and other colonial leaders studied Iroquois Confederacy governance, inspired by their union of distinct states under a council system. At the 1754 Albany Congress, Franklin proposed a colonial union modeled in part on the Iroquois League, the U.S. Constitution, and federalism. Scholars recognize parallels between the Constitution's federal structure and the Iroquois systems such as division of powers, representation, and the balance between unity and state sovereignty. The consensus method of deliberation influenced early American legislative procedures. Underappreciated contributions. Despite their profound impact, indigenous political innovations were often overshadowed by Eurocentric histories. Recent scholarship and indigenous voices increasingly reclaim and celebrate these legacies as foundational to American democracy. Contemporary reflections. Indigenous governance today, resurgence of traditional models. Many indigenous communities today reintegrate traditional governance based on consensus and matrilineal leadership alongside modern politics, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability of these systems. Lessons for modern democracies. In a world grappling with political polarization and centralization, the Iroquois example offers insights into governance grounded in respect, balance, and inclusion. Conclusion. A democratic legacy worth honoring. The indigenous governance systems, especially the Iroquois Confederacy, offer rich, nuanced examples of democratic ideals in practice ideas that influenced modern political thought and remain relevant today. By recognizing and valuing these contributions, we broaden our understanding of democracy's roots and celebrate a heritage of participatory, inclusive governance.